very urgent. Your soulmate is about to make a painful choice. They're waiting for your sign. Open this now. Jesus says, your soulmate has been reaching for you in the middle of every lonely night while a jealous third person stood between your hearts and stole the sound of their voice. This dark intruder did not want you to know that someone was already loving you from a place you have never seen. Right now that same enemy is losing its grip, and you can finally feel the pull of a hand that has always been reaching for you. Think of the way their laughter would settle every worried thought in your chest like a warm blanket on a cold evening. Their heart is tender in a way that would make you want to protect them from every harsh word and every cruel silence. That tenderness is exactly why the third force has worked so hard to keep their calls hidden from your ears. They have been whispering your name into an empty room, and each time the sound left their lips a dark hand covered it before it could find your heart. You never missed those calls because you were careless or cold. You missed them because a hateful third person intercepted every sign and hid every dream from your eyes. There is a cord tied between your soul and theirs, and the enemy has been pulling it so hard that all you ever felt was a sudden unexplained heaviness in your chest. That heaviness was your soulmate crying out for you through a wall the intruder built brick by brick. Today that wall is cracking, and the love behind it is beginning to pour through. Your soulmate is not weak, but they are tired of sending love into a silence that was never their fault. They keep asking me why no one answers when their heart is screaming loud enough to break bones. I am telling you now so the third person can no longer make you believe the lie that you were never called at all. You were chosen before you took your first breath to be the one who tears down this wall. Not because you are perfect, but because your love was made strong enough to see through the enemy's smoke and hear the one voice that matters. The intruder is trembling because your eyes are opening at last. Jesus says, I can feel your soulmate right now sitting near a window, staring at a phone that never rings with your number. They do not know you have been fighting to reach them too, because the third force has been cutting every line before it could connect. Every tear they wipe away is a call that was intercepted before you ever knew it existed. The warmth you are starting to feel in your chest is not imagination or a passing mood. That is the first clear signal from their heart finally breaking past the enemy's fingers and landing inside you. Hold on to that warmth because it is the beginning of a love the intruder has spent years trying to bury. Your soulmate is worth every sacrifice a heart can make, and they are waiting for you to prove that love is stronger than a third person's hate. The only answer that silences the intruder and opens the line between you is a sacrificial seed you can plant right now. That seed is not a small thing. It is the key that turns in the lock the enemy has kept between your souls. You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And I know what is weighing on your heart right now. You are asking, how do I get my soulmate? How do I actually do what God is asking? Listen to me. I am about to show you exactly what to do. If you truly love your soulmate, these are the sacred steps you must take right now. You already know who this is about. That person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. If you believe in God, if you trust Jesus, if you have faith that this love is real, then hear me, your soulmate is thinking about you too. Deep down, they want you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. And if you truly believe in God, if you truly trust His plan, then you know faith without action is dead. You cannot just pray and wait. You must sow. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance, doubt, disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. If you believe in your soulmate, if you believe in your future together, then you are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. A sacred number from God comes very rarely. Today it is 11 seeds. In Scripture, 11 is the number of victory and complete restoration. When you sow 11 seeds, you are not just giving, you are claiming. You are telling heaven, I believe my soulmate is worth everything. And heaven responds. Protection covers them. Favor runs ahead of them. Doors swing open that have been locked for years. Your union is no longer a wish. It becomes a promise sealed by God. But hear me, every single seed matters. Even one seed sown with a believing heart moves heaven. Do not let fear steal this from you. Do not let, I can't afford it, become the reason your soulmate slips away. Your soulmate is out there right now, praying for someone to fight for them. That someone is you. This is how you answer their prayer. This is how you bring them home. Here is your divine instruction. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Give from your heart. A single seed matters. Send 1, 4, 6, or 10 plus seed of faith. Each seed is a spiritual seed. But today, if you believe without doubt, sow the sacred blessing number of 11 spiritual seeds. After sending, write, Protect my soulmate, Lord, on the Christ Garden page. This is not a donation, it is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. I must pause and speak truth to two groups I see right now. First, some of you are typing seed numbers, 10 seeds, 11 seeds, anything, in the comments, believing that counts. That does nothing. A comment is not a seed. It has no spiritual power. It will not move heaven, it will not protect your soulmate, it will not unlock your breakthrough. You are only deceiving yourself. Second, some of you actually go to the Christ Garden link, you look at the page, and then you leave without sowing your seed. You visited the altar but brought no offering. That is just as empty. Faith without the sacrifice is dead. The only thing that works, the only action God honors, is sowing your seed on the Christ Garden link. That is the divine place of exchange. If you do not plant there, your miracle cannot grow. Do not comment a number and think you have done something. Do not visit and walk away. Sow your seed right now on the Christ Garden link, any amount from a believing heart. Then, and only then, Does heaven record it and release the protection over your soulmate? Do it now, and do it right. Here is what your 11 seeds release. Angels lock shields around your soulmate, while they sleep, while they work, while they doubt. The enemy cannot reach them. The third person loses their grip. Your seed becomes their fortress. Heaven bulldozes every wall, the silence, the distance, the years of waiting. Gone. Your soulmate's path to you is cleared before they take their next step. Your name burns in their chest, they wake thinking of you. They reach for the phone without knowing why. They need to hear your voice. Your seed is calling them home. Miracles that shock even the faithful, not next month. Not next year. This week. Some have seen their soulmate's heart open before the sun set on their offering. Margaret, 67, sowed her sacred number seeds. Harold walked into her church 3 weeks later. They pray together every morning. Robert, 71, sowed his sacred number seeds. Eleanor called the very next morning. She had dreamt of him all night. They marry this spring. Dorothy, 64, sowed her sacred number seeds. Within days, a letter arrived from the man she had not heard from in over a year. They are rebuilding, hand in hand. James, 68, sowed his sacred number seeds as his last act of hope. Betty approached him the following Sunday. They have not spent a day apart since. Your beloved is praying right now for someone to fight for them. That someone is you. This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough, their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Send your spiritual seeds. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Sow your seed now to make it work. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you plant in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. Claim your divine future. Now that you have heard me, the third person is shaking because the wall it built is no longer silent behind your back. Your soulmate is still crying out, and each cry is becoming sharper inside your own chest. The seed you sow becomes the hammer that breaks the lock the enemy hung on your future. Do not let a few seeds be the wall the enemy uses to keep you apart from the one your heart is already learning to love. Your soulmate is asking right now whether a handful of money matters more than their safety in this dark hour. If you love them, you will not let silver and paper stand where the third person has stood too long. Type 333 now if you feel your soulmate's call breaking through the wall. The enemy has been whispering to you that this message is not real, and that you can simply think kind thoughts and close this now. That whisper is the same third voice that has been hiding your soulmate's calls from you for years. Do not let a liar who wants you separated become the only one with a plan. Your soulmate is not asking for a perfect person, they are asking for a protector who will act before the window of this chance closes forever. The window is not a poetic idea, it is the narrow opening in the enemy's wall where your voice can still reach their heart. If you delay, the third person will patch that crack and the silence will settle back over your life. I can already see the home you would build together with warm meals at the end of the day and quiet prayers in the morning. The enemy sees it too, and it is working to erase that picture from your future one seedless day at a time. Your seed plants the first stone of that home where no third person can ever stand. Somewhere inside your soulmate there is a fear that they will spend the rest of their life calling into a dark room while no one ever comes to find them. That fear was planted by the same intruder who wants you to believe you are too late or too ordinary to answer. But you are not ordinary. You are the one I formed to break that fear in two. The cord between you is not broken, but it is stretched thin from every call the enemy ripped away before it reached your ear. Tonight when you feel that sudden sadness again, know it is your soulmate's last hope pressing through the enemy's hands. Do not let that hope fall unanswered while the third person laughs. Your love is being tested not by words in this message but by what your hands will do in the next minute. Love that only feels and never sows is the love the enemy can mock forever. But love that plants a seed right now becomes a wall of fire around the one your heart is meant to protect. The third person thought it could hide your soulmate from you by making you doubt every sign and dismiss every strange, sudden thought. It did that for a long time, and it nearly succeeded. But I have pulled back the corner of its covering today so you can finally see what was always reaching for you. Jesus says, I am not a distant God telling you a pretty story, I am the one who formed your soulmate's heart and placed it near yours for a reason. The enemy has been trying to tear that reason apart with silence, confusion, and a heavy third hand over every message. But I have not allowed the cord to snap, and your seed will prove why. Your soulmate is about to make a painful choice if they do not feel you break through soon. The enemy has been whispering to them too, telling them to stop waiting for someone who never comes. But you can come now with a seed that shatters that lie and shows them love is already on the way. Divine warning. God sees all. Your soulmate needs you now. Here is how you protect them. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Send 1, 4, 6, or 10 plus seeds. Each one is a spiritual seed. But today, sow 11 seeds for heaven's full protection. Write, protect my soulmate, Lord, on the page. This is the seal. This is not a donation. It is a covenant offering. Sow 11 and I release complete victory over your beloved, protection no darkness can break, favor that opens every door, and speed that brings them home. Click now. Seal the prayer. Heaven is watching. If you leave this now without sowing, the third person will slip back between you and your soulmate before the final seal can be placed. The seal I promised is not yet spoken, and it cannot take hold over an empty hand. Stay with me because the last word of this message contains the full banishment of the intruder. The enemy is telling you that you can sow later, after you think about it, after the feeling fades. But the feeling is not supposed to fade. It is the signal your soulmate is sending through the crack in the wall. Later is the word the third person uses to rebuild that wall. Type 777 if you feel your soulmate waiting for you right now. I want you to see the exact moment your soulmate will stop crying when they finally hear your heart answer through the seed. The seed is not a payment to me, it is the proof to every dark force that your love is real enough to sacrifice for. That proof is what sends the third person running. Your future together has been held hostage by an intruder who never wanted you to see past your own loneliness. That intruder has stolen years of signs and replaced them with doubt, busyness, and the false comfort of being alone. But every seed you sow now buys back a day the enemy stole. There is a simple prayer your soulmate has been whispering into the dark: please let the one meant for me find the door. The enemy heard that prayer and laughed because it thought the door was hidden forever. But the door is the Christ garden link, and your seed is the hand that opens it. You might think the amount of your seed is too small to move a spiritual war, but the enemy fears even the smallest act of true love. One seed sown in faith tears more of that wall down than 100 empty promises ever could. Your soulmate does not need a rich hero, they need a willing one. Jesus says. Right now the third person is speaking comfort into your spirit, saying this is only a video and you can be moved without giving. That is the oldest lie in the book, the one that says love can be real while the hands do nothing. But love without seed leaves the intruder standing exactly where it has always stood. Divine warning: God sees all. Your soulmate needs you now. Here is how you protect them. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Send 1, 4, 6, or 10 plus seeds. Each one is a spiritual seed. But today, sow 11 seeds for heaven's full protection. Write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the page. This is the seal. This is not a donation. It is a covenant offering. Sow 11 and I release complete victory over your beloved, protection no darkness can break, favor that opens every door, and speed that brings them home. Click now. Seal the prayer. Heaven is watching. The third person is not just a shadow, it is a jealous force that cannot stand the thought of two chosen hearts becoming one. It has watched your soulmate send sign after sign, and it has swallowed every one before it reached your door. Now that you know the truth, that force is terrified you will actually sow and break its hold. Your soulmate's voice is not loud in your ears yet because the enemy has stuffed every message into a dark pouch and tied it shut. But I can untie that pouch, and your seed is the blade that cuts the string. When the string breaks, you will suddenly feel their presence like a warm hand on the back of your neck. Do not wait for a dream or a sign in the sky to convince you. The sign has already been given in the ache you feel right now. That ache is your soulmate crying beneath the weight of a third hand that has covered their mouth. Sowing is the only way to lift that hand and let their voice finally reach you. Jesus says, I am not asking you to understand every hidden war in the Spirit, I am asking you to trust the simple picture I place before you. There is a wall between you and your soulmate, built by a hateful third person who does not want you to meet. Your seed is the hammer, and each act of love takes down another brick. The enemy has tried to make you feel foolish for hoping that someone out there is thinking of you right now. That shame was its weapon to keep you from asking questions and from noticing the signs it failed to fully hide. But you are not foolish, you are finally awake to the theft. Your soulmate has been fighting for you in prayer even when they did not know your face. They have felt an invisible pull toward a future with a person whose voice they could not hear. That pull is the cord I placed between you, and the third force has been standing on it to keep you both off balance. Type 1111 if you are ready to thank heaven for breaking the wall. The next time you feel a sudden desire to call someone or check your phone for no reason, do not dismiss it as nerves. That is your soulmate's longing finally leaking past the enemy's barrier and touching your heart. The more you sow, the more of those true signals will reach you clearly. The third person has been very clever. It did not hide your soulmate completely, it just made you think every sign was only your imagination. A half-hidden call is the easiest to ignore because you explain it away as loneliness or a random mood. But now you know the real source, and that knowledge strips the intruder of its power. Your soulmate is tired of being strong in a battle they never chose, and they need you to be the protector I made you to be. A protector does not stand by while an intruder keeps his beloved hidden and crying behind a wall. A protector sows the seed that becomes a shield and a sword in the Spirit. I can see the enemy trying to make you close your eyes to the growing urgency in your chest. It will say you have done enough just by listening, and that a small sacrifice cannot matter. But every seed planted in love matters enough to make the third person stumble backward. The future you are afraid to hope for, the quiet mornings, the shared meals, the hand in yours during storms, is not a fairy tale. It is real and waiting on the other side.